Never electrify or booby-trap a mailbox. Mailboxes are federal property once installed. Tampering is illegal and dangerous. In this story, shocked means a legal paper trail sting with the Postal Inspection Service. No harm, just receipts. At 4:11 p.m., my doorbell cam caught a neon safety vest at my curb. The HOA patrol guy, clipboard, radio, lots of opinions, stopped at my mailbox, flipped the red flag down, opened the door, and pulled out my mail. Again. He slid letters into a manila folder like he was filing trophies, glanced up and down the block, and walked away. 30 seconds later, my phone buzzed with informed delivery. You should have received 4 pieces of mail today. Funny, because I was watching 3 of them take a field trip. By sunset, I'd be on the phone with a federal agent. By the end of the week, the HOA would hold the most awkward emergency meeting in its history. And by next Tuesday, the patrol would freeze solid when he reached into my box, and a calm voice behind him said, "Postal Inspection Service, leave it." I didn't electrify anything. I turned on something way stronger. Federal jurisdiction. We're allowed to remove junk, I noticed it first with coupons. The red plastic bundle never made it to my porch. Then it was a small, padded mailer. Tracking said, delivered. My mailbox said, nope. Then a replacement debit card. That one made my stomach drop. I asked around. 3 neighbors said they'd had mail go missing. One said the HOA patrol collects unapproved flyers from boxes to keep things tidy. So I emailed Carla, the property manager. Is a volunteer removing anything from mailboxes? That's not allowed. Carla replied in beige tone. The patrol tidies community areas. They may remove litter and unauthorized postings. Mailboxes aren't community areas, I wrote. They're federal. Only the USPS and the addressee touch the inside. 18 U.S.C. Paragraph 1708, mail theft, and Paragraph 1705, injury to mailbox. Please instruct volunteers to keep hands out. Carla sent back the HOA classic. Nevertheless, the board supports the patrol's efforts. Cool. Time to get boring and official. I signed up for USPS informed delivery so I knew exactly what pieces should arrive daily. I mounted a second camera with a clean view of the box, wide lens, no neighbor windows. I added a small sign on the post, U.S. Mail, authorized use only. Not a threat. Just a reminder, I ordered a USPS-approved locking mailbox insert, the kind carriers can still deliver to, but thieves can't fish easily. The Tuesday. He picked the wrong box, Tuesday the 14th. Informed delivery showed a business-sized letter from my bank, a tax notice, and 2 coupons. At 4:11 p.m., the HOA patrol stopped at my box. He didn't have a USPS uniform, arrow key, or that weary grace carriers carry. He had a folding cart and a sense of entitlement. He opened my box, took the mail, slid it into his folder, shut the door, and moved on like a raccoon with a pension. I saved the clip, noted the time, and called the USPS Postal Inspection Service, 877-876-2455. The dispatcher listened, asked for my address and the dates I'd seen this, and said the sweetest sentence, "An inspector will call you." Inspector Alvarez phoned that evening. Calm voice, no drama. "Tell me the timeline," she said. I told her about the coupon runs, the debit card, the HOA emails, Carla's nevertheless, and the 4:11 p.m. clip. "Good," she said. "You've got video, dates, and informed delivery screenshots. We'll do a controlled observation. This week. We prefer education when we can, but mail theft is a felony. Don't confront him. Let us handle it." I slept for the first time in 3 nights. The sting that wasn't a movie, but worked Friday, 3:30 p.m. A gray sedan parked half a block away. 2 people in polos stepped out and did that casual, not casual walk that says federal but friendly. I waved from my driveway. We reviewed the plan on the sidewalk. They'd observed delivery by the regular carrier. They'd observe any non-USPS person accessing the interior of my mailbox. If the HOA patrol reached in again, they'd identify themselves, instruct him to stop and document. If he complied, education and referral to the HOA for policy correction. If he didn't, a report and potential charges. Up to them, not me. At 3:58, my carrier rolled through like clockwork, slid mail in, and raised the flag, my favorite sound that day. At 4:12, Clipboard Energy approached. He flipped the flag down, opened the door, and slid his hand inside. Postal Inspection Service, Alvarez said, 5 feet away. Step back from the mailbox. He froze. The folder hovered. He looked at his radio like it could help. It could not. This is a federal receptacle, Alvarez said, calm. Only USPS and the addressee may retrieve mail. Are you authorized? He tried the HOA defense. I'm patrol. We remove junk mail per HOA rules. She shook her head. There is no HOA rule that overrides federal law. Place the mail back in the box. He did. Slowly, like gravity hurt. Do you have any other mail today? She asked. He said no. Alvarez looked at the folder. He handed it over. 2 coupon bundles, not mine. She documented, returned the non-addressed pieces to him with a warning, and kept my letter in the box. Then she did something I respect. She asked for the board president's number. The most awkward emergency meeting. That evening, the HOA sent a breathless email. Emergency board meeting at 7 p.m. to address USPS guidance. Translation: we got caught. I went. So did half the street. Alvarez showed up too, which is how you know you've unlocked a new level of HOA. Diane, visor, clipboard, omnipresent, opened with a preamble about community standards and unauthorized advertising. Alvarez waited, then said, mailboxes are under federal jurisdiction. Only letter carriers and addressees may place or remove mailable matter. Volunteers touching mail, son violation. Taking addressed letters, son potential felony. Don't do this. A hand went up. What about flyers? Not in the box, Alvarez said. On the door, on a hook, on a community board. Fine. Inside the USPS box? No. Also, don't put HOA notices in mailboxes unless you put postage on them and the carrier delivers. Use the door or email. Carla looked like someone had told her gravity was a rumor. So, we can't clean junk mail out of boxes? You can clean your own, Alvarez said. Not your neighbor's. If you're worried about a box overflowing, welfare check the person, don't steal the mail. The board's attorney, who had materialized, hopefully with billable hours, slid a paper across the table. We'll adopt a policy. No touching mailboxes, no inserting HOA material, no patrol access. Good start, Alvarez said. Also educate your volunteers that USPS cluster boxes are property of the Postal Service, not the HOA. Do not attempt to open them, ever. Clipboard guy stared at his shoes, boundaries, locks, and receipts. The next morning, I installed the locking insert I'd bought, USPS approved, carrier friendly. I put a little sign on the post that said, no HOA materials, door only please. One neighbor added the same. 2 others, older folks, signed up for hold mail while they traveled. We all signed up for informed delivery and shared the link in the group like we had discovered seatbelts. Clipboard guy dropped a note at my door that afternoon. I thought I was helping. I won't touch it again. I believe him. Nothing focuses a man like hearing federal jurisdiction in a calm tone. The board sent a follow-up email. Effective immediately, volunteers may not place or remove anything from mailboxes. HOA notices will be delivered by email, door. Tags only. We will host a postal inspector Q&A next month. Alvarez. Sure. They also adopted a patrol code of conduct. No physical contact with residents, no entering fenced areas, no representing themselves as law enforcement, and definitely no mailbox adventures. The shock they didn't see. Coming, the shock wasn't a jolt. It was a calendar invite, Mail Theft Awareness Night, hosted by USPS. Alvarez stood in the clubhouse with a slideshow titled Respect the Box. She covered 18 USC, paragraph 1708, mail theft, and paragraph 1705, injury to mailbox. What informed? Delivery is and how to use it. Locking mailbox options. How to report suspicious mail activity. 877-876-2455 or USPS.gov. Why HOA newsletters go on doors, not in boxes. Diane asked, "What about political flyers?" Alvarez smiled like she'd heard that one 900 times. "Not in the box. Door hangers, yes. Box, no." Clipboard guy asked no questions. He took notes like a man who had retired from a hobby, aftermath, and a better routine. Since then, my mail shows up when informed delivery says it should. The only hand that goes inside my box has a blue satchel and more patience than I deserve. The HOA prints door tags for pool closures. People stopped calling coupons litter and started calling them fuel for Jerry's fire pit. I also made a starter list for neighbors. Use informed delivery so you know what to expect each day. Get a USPS-approved locking insert or a locking curbside box. Hold mail for trips, or rent a P.O. box if theft is chronic. Put a camera where it. Seize the box, but not into neighbor windows. If you see someone at your box who isn't your carrier or you, call the Postal Inspection Service. Don't confront. Don't put HOA notices in boxes, ever. Put them on doors or email them. What the mailbox taught the clipboard mailboxes are federal. HOA rules stop at the post. Cleaning junk is not a legal category. Only USPS and the addressee touch what's inside. Don't escalate with traps or tricks. Use cameras, informed delivery, and the Postal Inspection Service. Calm wins. Fix the policy, not just the person. A one-page, respect the box rule saves everyone grief. Thank your carrier. They're out here in rain, snow, and HOA meetings. If you like stories where clipboards learn about federal law the polite way, hit subscribe, drop a like, and tell me your wildest HOA moment in the com.